welcome in everyone. Before we get into this morning's live, and I was going to do an update, but I decided to do this in a live fashion because the market is bleeding somewhat. My son is staying home from school today. Oh, what is going on? My son's staying home from school, so I have a little bit of time to talk. I figured this might be a better opportunity for us to discuss what's going on across the market rather than me just do an update. And if there's not a lot of discussion because a lot of people are going to be at work this morning, I will just do this in a 20-minute fashion. But I have a feeling that we're going to get some kind of volatility in the comments, good or bad. So we'll go over this. We'll take a look. I've been trying to warn of these drops for I don't know how long. As I said, I've emptied out a lot of my empty noise besides what I want to hold long-term for the ISO and IoT. Other than that, my complete portfolio has been vanquished. Outside of the ones you all know about, all of the speculative ones I've gotten rid of in the last couple of days, especially on that move up 2 days ago, 3 days ago. But as far as the XRP, XLM, Algo, DGB, ZIL, VChain, I've already made my money back on all of these. You know, and I've reinvested. I've been able to hold these now. And whatever happens in the market now, that's why I keep saying the last couple of days, if you own something and you're okay with holding it through 2028 or holding it long term, that's one thing. But if you're holding on to junk, if you're holding on to some speculative token that you're not even sure about, the time to get rid of it are on those higher moments. Now, if you're looking to continue to dig in, if you're looking to continue to build up, you look for the drops to continue to add, move on and forward, you know, up and onward, as they say, because the market, whether it swings down or not here, it's not over yet. So there's going to be opportunity within drops. There's going to be opportunities within rises. But I always look at it this way. When the market's doing something, I would rather have both sides of the equation. I would rather have both sides of the situation because now we're not surprised by this. Like Bitcoin, I don't think anybody in my community is surprised that Bitcoin is teetering on the fact that it could fall outside of this rising broadening wedge. And if it does, it's going to invalidate the symmetrical triangle that's trying to form. So for me, I haven't given up on crypto, but I have like 60,000 in cash now that was once employed in the market, that was not part of the market because it rose up so much. That doesn't mean that I don't still have a significant amount in the market, but better than 60% of my holdings are in cash now. That doesn't mean like everything that I hold that I've talked about, my million DGB, the couple 100,000 of this, couple 100,000, that's still all valid. The point is though, is that I don't have 100% of free flowing capital in here. I've already made 4 times my investment that's sitting in cash despite what I hold. So let that sink in. 4 times I'm up. What's already safely, even if I lost 100% of what's in crypto right now, I would still have 4x my portfolio from the start of the bull run. Even if it all goes to zero from now. That's what I'm trying to navigate to the community. That doesn't mean that I'm 100% in or 100% out. That just means that my speculative, even my ISO or IoT speculative tokens that weren't my idea, I got rid of. Because there's no point of me to be overweight. But I think what's getting misconstrued here is everybody just thinks it's the give up. It's just, I'm done. I've given up on the portfolio. That's not the case. I'm trying to situate myself so if this drop that I see down to 74,000, I don't have to have all of the junk that I don't need. But at the same time, there's still a lot that I see within the charts that tell me, yeah, we're having one of these consolidatory moments, but it happens every single bull run. Even if we drop down to 74K, which is a possibility. We've been talking about it for a while. The rising broadening wedge, that's the technical drop down. Even if we drop down there, you're going to have a severe cut down in the fear and greed index. We've been way too greedy here. And this is why I've been trying to keep the community out ahead of it. It doesn't mean there's not going to be pain along the way. It doesn't mean you can't sell out. It doesn't mean you can't find an area. But what it means is you should be cutting off some of the loose ends as we were railing. It means that you should be only holding what you think you're going to hold going forward, even if we have a break back down into a bear market. Like, these are the things we need to look at. And there's a reason why I've been so steadfast at saying secure some of your profits because this volatility was unavoidable. We could not avoid it. And now we see the market starting to take another leg down here. Crypto is one thing, and I said how I was shifting focus now as well the last several weeks to be investing more in the commodities and gold and silver, which is exactly what I've been doing over the last several weeks. And it's nice to see at least when one sector's down, another sector's going up. Yesterday we talked about the USDT, the USDT, which is United States Digital Tether, but the dominance looked like it was starting to break back up here a little bit, got past its little resistance, and now it was targeting 4.98%. Now, could this be a market-wide shakeout before Trump? This is exactly what I was talking about a few days ago that needed to happen. You don't want to have a big pump going into Trump being, inaugurated. Then you're just going to have a buy the rumor, sell the news. If we're dumping going into inauguration, to me, that's a good thing because then when Trump comes in, you're going to have that volatile spike. And the thing, too, if you've been buying into the market with me, even with these drops, is not, it's something because what you're saying, we're going lower, or I've been saying we're going lower for like a month. That's exactly what I've been saying. And right now we've been going lower. How low we go depends if we fall out of this. I have not been mincing words. I've been taking a lot of criticism, in fact, the last couple of weeks because of my outlook that we were at least coming down to the bottom of this support structure. And then if it falls out, 74K is the next line. And then it would back test the breakout of the cup and handle. We had a very volatile push up. If we look at this, these are when Bitcoin was at 93,523 a little while ago. This was the biggest sellers that I could find. Coinbase has sold 293,000 Bitcoin in the last 30 days. That's 29 billion. Binance has sold 220,000 Bitcoin. Coinbase Prime International has sold 63,000 Bitcoin. Couple of unknown wallets, 63,000, 42,000, 39,000. Kraken's deposits and so on and so forth and outflows are 41 million. Coinbase 335 is another 40 million. So Coinbase has been very proactive in selling Bitcoin. Binance has been proactive in selling Bitcoin a lot. Kraken's been proactive. So there's been some leading exchanges that are selling off Bitcoin. So the max supply is 21 million. Current supply is 19.8 million. So for everybody who says there's no Bitcoin to be bought, there's still 1.2 million that nobody's buying. That is sitting there, but it hasn't been bought yet. But that's a lot of selling that was going on. And that's information to keep track of because with this rising broadening wedge, if it breaks down, it's going to be interesting because it's 74K is the technical. Is it going to break up or down on the 20th? Basically what I just said, if it's breaking down leading into inauguration, it's a good thing. If it's pumping going in, it's probably going to break down right on inauguration. If we sell the rumor, buy the news, that's one thing. But we'll see. We'll see. I've been trying to front run all of these dumps so that everybody could take out some profit. You could reevaluate. You could set yourself up. You could put funds to the side so you could buy dips. The bottom line is here, the majority that are selling are the ones who bought in when everything was already up on the ups. The ones who are holding are probably the ones who see it long term. But the ones who just bought in the last week or two, they're getting hammered and slaughtered. There's no doubt about that. XRP, I've tried to take the pain off of everybody's plate and say, so that you don't have to do the struggle. It's in a pennant flag. You shouldn't have to do anything if you don't want to within the pennant flag. If you're going to sell, I would make sure the pennant flag breaks down. And that's at $2.05, that fair value gap that I still anticipate. Just because it went up now, we're still within that formation. We could still come down and back test at 213. It's just there's a lot of stuff. A little bit of a flag is formed there. But what I'm seeing across the market too, like let's go to DGB for instance. I know DGB's down 3.4%, so it's perfect. It's one of these things. Are we creating a gigantic inverse head and shoulders across the market? Or is this a disguise and a setup to break it down, and then all of a sudden we break out of this consolidation, and then we break down to the next level? That is the question we have to ask ourselves, because it's something I've been watching for a long time. And I don't know if it's going to break this entire pattern down, but I can tell you it's getting very volatile. But a lot of these patterns have inverse head and shoulders. A lot of them have falling wedges. A lot of them have falling channels, and I can show you a nice falling channel on XLM. These are not bearish reversals. These descending wedges, these falling channels or falling wedges or inverse head and shoulders, these are bullish consolidations. So to me, as much as it looks bearish, is as much as it's still setting up very bullish for a big explosion. And with this volatility, it takes out retail. It takes out leverage. It takes out the ones who were buying in after the rally already was up here. It's really, really interesting. Paper, gold, and silver is not the way. Not if you want to hold it in your hand. I have so much precious metals that I bought over the years of gold and silver physical bullion. I disagree that it's not worth holding a paper position. I don't think it's as valuable because you can't hold it in your hand. But I absolutely disagree if you're looking at the sense of you want to take it out of the US dollar to put it in paper, gold, or silver. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're looking for a way to accumulate gold and silver precious metals, if you buy it in paper, only 1 out of 20 can be filled. So if everybody wants their delivery on paper, gold, and silver, only 1 out of every 20 would get it filled, and that's the bottom line. So if you're buying paper, gold, and silver, don't expect to get it delivered, is the point. But don't say that it's irrelevant, because it's still gold and silver, it's just in the paper version. It doesn't mean as much, because if I'm holding gold and silver from a physical standpoint that I want to own, I want to have that. Bought at 47, sold half at 230. The rest is house money. Yep, that's how I am. My 10,000 tokens I hold now has been paid off. I bought over the top so that I could sell out, so that I could hold what I wanted without having any addendum to me owning it with my own money. Every single thing on my list that I own, when I tell you how many tokens I have, is all fully paid for. Remember, I bought DGB the first 500,000 or so around 004, 005, bought it up, was able to sell, was able to rebuy as it came down. The 800,000 tokens I bought at a 50% savings, and then it went up 50%. So just do the math. It's the same thing with ZIL and VECHAN. I'm holding these because, one, it's on house money, but two, I have longer term goals here. When I bought HBAR, I was at 4.5 cents. Do I care that it's down 6%? It's at 26 cents. Not really. I bought XRP at 35 cents. It's all fully paid for. Like, I don't know how to better to explain myself that if you're riding on the house's dime and you've already paid yourself back your investment and then some, because I had many more than just the ISO and IoT that I bought leading into this. So my family has been into gold and silver for generations, and paper is the downfall. Oh, paper is the downfall. Oh, paper, it's weighted in paper. I don't know what to tell you. Paper is not the only reason why, but the volatility from JP Morgan and all of them, yeah, of course it's very volatile and it's keeping it down. But that's just the way it works. That's the way it works. You take advantage of things the way you can. Some people would rather have their money in paper, gold, and silver than have it in the US dollar or their native currencies. Don't expect to get that on delivery, but whether you have paper, gold, or physical, the price is the same, whether you're holding it. Just because I physically have an ounce of gold or have one on paper, they're both still worth the same amount. It's just the one I'm not going to get delivery on. It's just going to go back into cash if I ever sell it. That's all. That just keeps it to where you have an immediate free flow of cash so that you don't have to sell your... Okay, the reason here's a better way to put it. The reason I have paper, gold, and silver when I'm starting to build into something when I see a big collapse coming is so that I don't have to have it all tied into physical. I want to have something in gold and silver that I can trade and make money on, or just hold, avert to the gold, to the US dollar. I know for a fact I'm not getting it in physical metals because they can't possibly deliver it, because COMEX only can deliver about 1 out of every 20 ounces somebody owns in paper. I get that. Yes, Lynn, I understand. That's why I've re-emphasized that point about 6 times just now. I completely agree with you. 0% chance. Only 1 out of every 20 would get their gold and silver delivered. That's what I agree. You're 100% on point. That's why I say it time and time again. Let me say it one more time. I own physical metals. I've been buying them since 2018. I haven't bought any physical metals in 24 because it got too expensive. I always sold my profits out of the stock market or crypto, aside what I needed for the next buy-in. I'd put all profits into physical gold and silver. Gold was at 1,600 the last time when I tried to teach everybody, 1,600 to 1,900 to buy it. Silver was at between 16 and 22. Platinum I bought as well, about 2 ounces back when it was at about $700 an ounce, but only because I wanted it. So now, you know, I start to build into physical gold and silver as everybody's selling out of it. That's just my thing. I'm not saying it's what you need to do. I'm not saying it's what anybody needs to do. That's not something that I'm trying to get in paper and physical. That's all. Absolutely, Lynn. Man, you are on point, though. I love it. I love the ones in my audience that are knowledgeable with the difference between paper and precious metals. A lot of people just don't simply understand that even if you hold paper, you're not just going to be able to sell it out and get it back or you're not going to be able to request it in physical metals, because literally, if me and 19 others are watching right now, we all try to get our paper, maybe 1 or 2 of us is going to get it in physical delivery. Who do you think is going to get it, the rich or the poor? Probably the ones who hold a lot more in it. But right now, we're imploding. We're absolutely imploding right now. Ooh, beautiful, say DK. That's perfect. So, is anybody surprised in here? I'll do the intro, but is anybody watching right now? Are you surprised that the market's bleeding right now? Or have we done a good job talking about this leading into it? I think we've done a fantastic job in this community. I think the one good thing about this community as well is the fact that we come on whether it's red or green. Most people come on and they come on and it's green. I like to come on when it's red and green, because the red is where you truly see what's coming. You truly see the, you know, we do a good job at seeing what's coming. So yeah, a lot of people are saying they're not surprised. I'm glad to read that. I'm glad to read that. And that's why, have I not been saying the last 2 weeks, take profits, only hold what you're willing to hold through a drop? Because there's certain things that I'm just not going to sell, because I know some of these things. Is this a good level to sell my XRP bag? I'm getting nervous. All right, good question. And I'll do the intro and then I'll answer this. Good morning. 8:53 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Thursday, January 9th, 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So, if you're getting nervous, the make it or break it point for XRP, and I know it's hard if you didn't buy at 35, or if you bought it at $1.90, or if you bought it at $2.70, but honestly, you don't sell it in a pennant flag unless you're selling it at resistance. And I gave a big heads up to everybody that that was a sell point if you wanted to take it. But you never sell inside the pennant until it breaks down, because a pennant flag is technically a bullish consolidation. So we'll have to see. That's why I asked the question a few days ago. I think it was in a live. I want to see how I phrase it just so I don't overspeak. But that's why a few days ago I said, oh, 1 day ago, so not yesterday's live, the day before, I said XRP. Will pennant flag hold if Bitcoin breaks out of rising broadening wedge and drops to 74K? And then I said, XRP, be aware. ABC correction started. Target would be 205 to 208. And then if it holds there, would signal wave 5. That's what we're only in wave 4 correction right now. So as long as we don't break out, you're holding, buddy, so I'm holding. Like you said, eventually we will hit the cup and handle target. I just need to take them. Yes, eventually we will, but that doesn't mean that it has to happen on any kind of run right now. It could fall out of the pennant. It could fall down. Remember, if you're not in the same spot as me as far as having your capital back, not worrying about being on your own dime, having significant amount of your money back and hold, like, that's the thing. Like, if you're watching right now and you haven't materialized any profit, if you're not riding on it for free, like, there's different ways to look at this. I'm looking at it from one perspective, but that's my own portfolio perspective. I'm also looking at it in the fact that I would never sell out of a pennant flag unless I front ran it and sold, bought, because you can see the pennant. But then you start, there's just a lot of things, a lot of reasons why if you can't, you know. So my personal advice would be, if you're looking to hold XRP long term, if it's in the pennant flag, you shouldn't be worried. If it falls out of it at 205, that fair value gap, if that is lost, that is where a lot of people are going to have to make a lot of informed decisions here. If you're not looking to hold it and just let this play out. Because on the drop downs, the one good thing that's good to see is the volume has not been very high. In comparison to the rally up, the volume's basically non-existent on these drops. So I feel like we're being set up here in a big way. It's just, I don't know how far the setup can drop. Like, I don't know how far, if it breaks out of here. Obviously, we haven't lost the 4-hourly. We're still looking fine in some of the higher time frames. We're still trying to bounce around here. It's just with Bitcoin having all this volatility, it's going to lead into some real volatility here. Unfortunately, we've been talking about Bitcoin coming down since it got the rejection at 108K. That's why I'm not surprised this is happening. And then when it got the rejection here, we talked about how it could be forming a symmetrical triangle, but that could just be the consolidation before the drop to trap a few more people. Because everything I'm seeing suggests that that 74K is a real target there if it breaks out of this. And it's not because I'm trying to scare anybody. There you go, Marie. See, that's exactly it. You take your initial investment out. There's nothing wrong. If you have your initial investment and you're riding, just think about it. If you have your initial investment out, and right now, let's say you still have 10,000 tokens of XRP. It's worth 22,400, and you got your initial investment of 3,500 out, right? On 10,000, if that's what you're holding. Or maybe you had 15 and it was like, so anyhow. Now that it's on house money, you can watch it, and let's say you have 22,000 in profit. Okay, you're like, you know what? I'm going to let it play down another $2,400. Make sure that it forces me out. And now my 3,500 is 20 grand instead of 22 grand. So it's, and if you haven't taken profit, you know, I have 50K at 46. I didn't even take my initial investment out. I might take it out on the next spike. I always encourage everybody, if you're up to, and I've said this a million times and I'll say it a million times again, if you're up 3, 4, 5, 600%, take out that 100% you put in. You still got 500% over the top. Especially at 600% or 500%, you only have to sell 20%. But you have all of your investment back. You know what the hardest thing for most people to do if they call themselves an investor and not a trader? Because I'm both. With XRP, I'm more of an investor unless it forces me from cycle to cycle with ISO and IoT. But I'm very much a trader with other things. Commodities, at times paper, precious metals. You know, but certain things, I just know that the long game is the way to go, the longevity. And like I said, when Brad Garlinghouse shared this picture, some people seen that he was with Trump. Some people seen that he was having a meeting, like they were getting together. I seen the same, but I also seen something else. And I pointed it out when we seen this on Twitter or X. When they painted this, or when they showed this picture, yes, you've got Stuart Alderodi, Brad Garlinghouse, and Trump together. What is the picture behind it? Rocky, choppy roads ahead. That's showing you choppy waters to get to our final destination. Is that not choppy waters they showed behind us? And you can read between the lines, but we're beginning to kind of, it's almost like the ghost, right? The ghost ship. But we're fighting through choppy waters to get to our final destination. That means they're telling us, even though we're going through choppy waters, during the tenure of Trump, something's going to happen that we can't imagine. So to me, it shows choppy waters ahead. Yes, manipulating the lower price of XRP. And then what's going to end up happening? They're saying, eyes on Trump, crypto president. You're going to have to ignore the choppy waters, stay strong, maybe find a way to buy some more if you can. But at the end of the day, we're going into the next cycle. And we are. We really, really are. It's just, I keep telling everybody to be very careful about, oh yeah, green candles as well. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny behind, that's what I was saying. The green candles behind as well. Behind, if you look just behind all of their heads, you can see the green candles. Alderodi, Trump, and Garlinghouse behind their heads. There's green candles, but behind it is choppy waters, which means we're going to get a little volatility leading into the big, but look how big the green candles are. Those aren't small. Those are strategically placed. Absolutely anti-communist. We've talked about this for a few days. One faded chip, one new shiny XRP chip. Yes, indeed. See, you guys are understanding. So it's a 4D chess game. So that's what I said. This is a long game for me. So why would I be mad at $2.20 if I was willing to hold it from 35 to 90 to 50 to 45 to 70 without incurring any profit and waiting for the time? Because I had like 17,000 that I worked with, and I still have over 10,000, but I base it on 10,000. But I've paid for every single holding I have out of my whole portfolio. Everything is covered to the point I have 60,000 sitting in cash on a crypto exchange, 25,000 on the crypto debit card, 35,000 sitting safely in USDT, which is backed up to 250K by FDIC insurance. And let's see, I've already spent, and 36,000, or what is that? 38,000 goes towards my windows and my new kitchen that I've already got estimates on, and we're working on it. And in February, I'll get my new windows. And around the same time, hopefully they'll remodel my kitchen. But that doesn't count the, what, 40,000 that could still get cut in half in crypto. But I'm okay with that. You know what that does? For everything that I sold for profit, all this is coming down on the portfolio, and it's okay. It's okay because I've made a strategic plan what I want to do going forward. You know, and these aren't the prices. XRP maybe is getting more into a good area, but some of these other ones, they're building into opportunity zones, and it's not just one thing falling down. We're, like I've said from the very beginning, Ethereum gave us a very key indicator that we were coming down, and we had to come down near that 2774. That's not good for the tokens, the alt tokens. But if it comes down here to 2,700, isn't it just creating a gigantic inverse head and shoulders? Like, I think that we're having a big shakeout here leading into the election. Leading into the inauguration. This is something that I predicted. Why I thought we were falling bearish, and why I told my audience, take your profits, accept what you're willing to hold through the drops, and what you're planning on holding long term. But everything else, you can universally come down on your portfolio a little bit. I was very transparent. I will continue to be transparent. I am not surprised by this. The only reason why I hate when this stuff happens is it makes the community smaller. It makes less people interested. I love the fear. Remember, we need fear to turn it around. We've got 219 people in here, only 74 likes this morning. That's quite low. That's not even that's like a third. It's impossible for me to grow the audience if we're not at least hitting that like button, because YouTube bases it on an algorithm. But I understand a lot of people are going to lose hope. But these are, like I said, falling channels, descending wedges, descending triangles are forming. These are all bullish consolidations. Oh, don't be sorry for not hitting the like button. I was just saying. It's okay, my friends. It's not really that big of a deal because YouTube shadow bans me a lot anyhow. But I've also pushed the message of don't leverage trade anymore, because if you're doing this with this volatility, look at yesterday, down 12%, back up 8%, back down 5%. Doesn't matter. Yes, I do see it dropping more. Absolutely. Absolutely. If this rising broadening wedge for Bitcoin does not hold, and let me put it where it should be, because we have this evidence here, right? So we have to be transparent. We have this evidence right here. So we haven't broke out of it yet. But we're starting to get very, very close. So right now, if Bitcoin loses, it's actually 91,300 on that rising broadening wedge. If it loses 93,300, expect a bigger drop. Bottom line, to 74,000. What does that mean for our crypto? XRP will probably be down near the 205, if not lower. Could even be down near $1.82. Okay, 91,100. Man, I was off. So we're still within the rising broadening wedge. So, and the problem is we already know who caused part of this dump. I showed it already. We already know what's causing most of this. And don't forget, the U.S. government's able to sell like a significant amount of Bitcoin right now that was stuck up with the with some of the seizures. Whoops. I need to go into here. So there's a significant amount of stuff happening right now, folks. There really, really is. And not all of it's bullish for, whoops. Not all of it's, what the hell? What is all this crap? I don't want that junk. I hate how people send crap to your email that I don't want. What is going on here? Just give me my... Where the heck did my stuff go? Well, that sucks. What did just happen? I hate how Gmail blocks stuff now and they want you to pay for... They want you to start paying for stuff. Oh, that's crazy. That thing just disappeared on me. That sucks. Well, what are you going to do? But I showed how much... I saw a post for 6 billion in sell orders for Bitcoin. Did you talk about Chainlink and Ripple adoption attack? No, I haven't talked about Chainlink today yet. But we seen it yesterday. I wonder if they put any in the news. But we seen yesterday that they're partnering. Whether they... Well, we'll get into that. I'll read it if I don't see it here. XRP may surge 40% as Trump effect boosts Ripple sentiment. XRP price versus Bitcoin pressure. Can it hold its ground? So, let's see what we're looking at here. XRP, or Ripple and Chainlink. Ripple. Hey, but just remember, all the people that criticized me the last few days because I talked about the drop, those same people are going to criticize me because it dropped. Remember that. So it's a pretty interesting dynamic that we deal with in this community. Imagine somebody giving you out free information but front running everything that's going to happen so you can make an educated and informed decision, and that person's still getting beaten down brutally. It's almost like, why do I invoke that on myself? Ripple adopts Chainlink standard for RLUSD pricing. Data on Ethereum. So Ripple has integrated Chainlink's infrastructure to supply verifiable pricing data for its USD-denominated stablecoin, RLUSD, on the Ethereum blockchain. RLUSD is designed to maintain parity with the USD and is positioned as a stablecoin for enterprise use, emphasizing trust, utility, and regulatory compliance. This integration aims to enhance RLUSD's usability within the decentralized finance DeFi ecosystem. Chainlink price feeds are now operational on Ethereum mainnet, enabling developers to incorporate RLUSD into various DeFi applications, including trading and lending platforms. The Chainlink standard... Oh, wait a minute. I got to share something with everybody. Just because... I'll share it in a sec. The Chainlink standard provides a decentralized... sorry, I'm doing like 5 things at once. Decentralized solution to deliver secure real-time asset pricing data essential for supporting RLUSD adoption on-chain and on-chain markets. We'll continue this. I just wanted to make sure that I share one thing. Why does it do it? You know, it's funny. Whenever I try to do something and then it like kind of blocks me from doing what I'm trying to do. It's always rather interesting to me. Because I don't understand. Well, I do understand. I understand the whole shadow ban thing. It just you know, it can get annoying at times. It can, but that's okay. So I'm just gonna share it like this so that we can see stuff. I'm gonna put it on my Twitter so that or my X account so I can just pull this up. Because I think for anybody who's a trader, you should obviously pay attention to this. And then we're gonna finish reading that. So on BITUNIX, whether or not you're part of it or not, they're doing some stuff on BITUNIX where you can get some, they're doing some stuff. I'm going to talk about for 2 seconds. But if you go on here, and it's in my video description below and our pinned comments, all you have to do is click on my link. And then when you open this, you'll see they have some kind of promotion right now where if you send $500, you get $50. If you send $200, you get $20. And that's right on deposit. And then if you're a futures trader, pay attention to this. And yeah, it's very volatile leverage, but if you're a high volume leverage trader, if you're somebody who's trading a lot of leverage, and there's people in our audience doing this, 50 million in USDT and futures trading, you get 800 XRP for free. So right now that's about a $1,600, between $1,600 and $1,800 value. So then there's the terms and conditions, but that's something if you're a high volume trader or just somebody who's trading, if you deposit $500, you get $50 for free. Like I said, the link's in the video description below. It's on the homepage of my channel. So that's something that I would definitely take advantage of. Hell no, I don't use KYC at all on BITUNIX. I want to trade so I can buy and sell in confidence so that I don't have to report it. So no, I don't KYC. The only KYC I have is on crypto.com. And that's where I do all of my stuff when I have to do taxes. No, I'm not KYC'd at all. No. You don't have to KYC for the rewards. Nothing that I've talked about on BITUNIX you need to KYC for. There are no KYC exchange. That's part of their thing. You just deposit. You click on the link and you deposit. That's it. Just read the disclaimer so that you know everything that could possibly be in there. But that's where you can click on it. I wanted to make sure to share that because I forgot yesterday, and I feel dumb sometimes when I don't share stuff. Because if we're trading and I see something on there, why not get money if if you're already trading, you might as well take advantage of it. I'm not telling you to go outside yourself to trade more than you should or deposit something you don't have. Some of us got hit in other areas and unwillingly had to pare down, but we follow you because you got transparency and integrity. You've been pretty on the money. Oh, I understand that. I've also pared down some of my stuff too. I've pared down some of my non-essential holdings because I could see the breakdown was coming. So there's certain things that I want to hold, unless I see it's over, but I'm already very happy with this run. Even if everything that I hold goes to zero, I still made out 4 times my portfolio. And that's something to think about. I'd be 4x on my portfolio from the start, even if everything I still hold goes to zero. That's a pretty crazy place to be at. Stablecoins such as RLUSD aim to offer opportunities for faster, cost-efficient cross-border and local transactions. Ripple's RLUSD issued on both the XRP Ledger and Ethereum blockchain is natively compatible with smart contract-based applications. However, to facilitate broader adoption to DeFi, developers require reliable pricing data to manage risk and support various financial use cases. The integration of Chainlink's decentralized Oracle network ensures RLUSD can leverage high-quality off-chain data, providing the infrastructure needed to support secure and scalable DeFi applications. Chainlink's price feeds aggregate market data from multiple sources, offering volume-weighted average prices that are resistant to manipulation. Ripple chose Chainlink's solution after assessing its features, which include data quality, aggregated from numerous premium sources and filtered for accuracy, secure nodes operated by independent security-reviewed entities. Decentralization mitigates risk from single points of failure. Transparency offers tools for monitoring and verifying data integrity. Officials from Chainlink's labs talked about working with Ripple to expand RLUSD adoption and how it highlights the growing importance of reliable on-chain data for tokenized assets such as stablecoins. In turn, representatives from Ripple highlighted that accurate pricing is vital for RLUSD's role in DeFi markets. By using Chainlink's trusted data feed, the company aims to strengthen ROUSD's utility for both institutional and decentralized applications. So good information. Well, I still have everybody's attention. It's been 40 minutes. Still pretty early. You've been watching Pip Snipes, but he's never right. Unfortunately, Bolzak, I tried to warn people about that a long time ago, but people told me I was just being a douche. I just didn't like the person. It's not that. I just thought the analysis was inaccurate from a buying and selling perspective. That was all. So I'm very brutally honest. I'm very brutally honest. Not that I don't like the guy. It's just for my money, I'd like somebody a little more accurate is all. Charts are fine, but just when it comes to making an understandable decision, that's what it lacks. But look, we knew coming down here today, 91,500. We talked about this yesterday. All the way down to clear out this zone is right around 90K. So technically we could wick to 90K and then there's not as much below. But look what's building back above, folks. This is what you need to remember. Look it's starting to build back up. 336 million all of a sudden. 400 million. Look, 443 million. The top side liquidity is building back up. We took the bottom side. I think it's about down to 90K. And you can see we've already come down into these ranges to about 91.3 right now. So we've absolutely started taking out this heavy liquidity zone. We do this in unison. Now we're starting to build some over the top again. That's what we want to see. The fear and greed index is another thing that's going to start working in our favor eventually. There's too much greed. We need fear. We want the market to be fear, not greed. If the index says greed, not good time to buy. If it says fear, getting better. Is it still at 66? I'm telling you, people are so greedy. It's so greedy right now oh, there we go. That's better. 49, that's better. I was going to say, there's no way that we can still be up that high. 49 is getting better. We're getting towards a neutral area. This is good. So if you're still in a bull market, neutral is good. Getting back towards here. Let's see what CoinGlass says. Some of it hasn't updated. 69. So why did the one say... I'm just going to go to... We'll have to see which one is it? Is it 69? No, that's the CMC. I mean, I don't know. Is this one just updated? Is that what's going on here? It seems like this one updated quicker. I don't know. We'll see. I was using CoinMarketCap when I used to use it too, so... We'll see. What is everybody else seeing for the fear and greed? Are you seeing it at 49 or are you seeing it at 68 still? If that's the new fear and greed, that's good. If that's front running some of the other ones, that's actually a good sign. 49 is great. Now we're back into neutral. It's basically, I mean, it's basically the, let's say the market's rising at a parabolic state, and we get more and more people buying, even though we're showing that we're top heavy, like we're on a topping part of a pattern. But instead of people buying, when XRP, that's the best way I can put it. People that weren't buying at 50 cents on XRP because they were feeling fear that it was still going to go down are the same people that at $2.25 or $2.55 or $2.90 are saying they would be buying there. Even though it's already gone up 400 or 500%, even though it's showing signs of slowing down and money coming out, they would be buying there. That's greedy. If you're buying after a 400 to 500% pump expecting the same, that's greed. If you're not buying it when it's cheap, that's fear. So you want to buy it when people are being fearful. Now that it went back down to 49, good sign. I talked about it at 97 when it was in extreme greed. There's no way to keep going up from here. It went up too fast. That's when XRP was at 290. Even then, I said you guys can make an informed decision. If it loses $2.62, we got to go back down. And at the time, we were talking about the $1.98. Now we're not talking about that level. We're talking about 205 at first. So, in 222, for all intents and purposes, has been a real G right now for XRP. Remember, the descending wedge's first target was 222 on its way to 549 approximately. 222 is holding up like a champ the last 2 days. Let's face it for what it is. And most of the market today, here's the other caveat. Yeah, we're down 4%, 7% in XLM, 6% almost in H-bar. Zillow is one of the few with even putting on a gain right now, barely. But isn't it all just back to where it was yesterday before the rally up? I'm just saying, isn't everything just basically coming down to a possible retap of the exhaustion wick, or at least filling out the exhaustion? I don't feel bad about this. It's doing exactly what we need to do. And now the fact it went from 68 to 49 in the same range. Oh, this is beautiful. We've literally gone from 97 to 49 in the time that Bitcoins went around that 103,000, and then it rallied down and up, down and up. And now it went back down. I love it. I love it. This is good. This is good. Ethereum got slaughtered, but unless you're in leverage, you should know what's happening with Ethereum. The possibility is that this is on a right arm, but we've got evidence here. So support. And we can start drawing out a pattern here. In the short term, maybe it doesn't have to come down to 2,700. But we won't know until we draw it out. And that's all I ever try to tell everybody. Get the pattern so that you can see. Now, if that's a right arm, it'll fall out of this, and then we'll come down to that 2774. If it loses that, that's when it gets dicey. Because if it has to come down to 2120, that's like a rising wedge, and it's coming back down to the uptrend. Doesn't mean it's going to break down right away, but it could. But I'm seeing a much larger inverse head and shoulders from there, but I'm also seeing it from a wider perspective as well on Ethereum. So I'm not ready to say, like, look, inverse left, head, and then you could say, like, the shoulders trying to form. Remember, an inverse head and shoulder starts with a low, right? So arm, lower low, head, right? Higher low, shoulder. So what if left shoulder, head, that's a right shoulder, even though it looks like an inverse head and shoulder on the right shoulder? The smaller patterns tend to keep remaking the other larger pattern, which means that Ethereum could in fact come to 2,774 and be fine. Maybe even a little bit lower. But the point is I'm seeing these inverse patterns. It's not just Ethereum. It's not just certain things. It's so easily seen on DGB that if it breaks, it's going to be one of the first to tell us in the short time frame. We have a low, lower low for the head, higher low for the inverse right shoulder. Even if you want to say there, and then a back test here, you can say it however you see it. But right now, let's not force it to be done until it's done. That doesn't mean you can't take advantage. But I'm XRP Future Millionaire. I'm going to leave it here for this morning, I think. I'm going to leave it here for this morning. I want to go make sure my son is doing good. I know, Nick, it's funny. Binance says 69, but CMC, the crypto market cap, says 49. William, thank you for the $2.79 donation. I really appreciate that, IQ. Really, really appreciate that. But I'm going to go make sure my son's doing good. We'll be back in a little bit. I'll be live tonight at 6 p.m. as long as everything's going good. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. Thank you all so much. Oh, hold on. Hold on. I can actually respond to that gas mask question. I'll be right back. Oh, as far as the person who talked about a gas mask, I have a Miro one, but it's the single best one you can buy, supposedly, for like a civilian. So yeah, I am ready. I am ready. I'm ready more than you guys might know. It's even got a water canister, air filter, all the stuff in it. So I'm already ready for that. I've even got hazmat suits for the whole family, just in case. I'm serious. I'm serious, because you never know. You never know what's gonna happen. I'm dead serious. I've got stuff just in case. You know, nothing would surprise me with our government and what's going on. So I like to prepare. Much like I prepare in the crypto market before it was about to pump. I like to prepare in real life too. So thank you all so much. I'm going to go with Julie, go deal with our son. And we'll see how he does later. If he's doing a little bit better, because he's not feverish. He just was a little sleepy and, you know, out of it, stuffy a little bit. So he didn't go to school today, last day of the school week. But he's supposed to have speech therapy here at 12 o'clock, well, 12:15. So we'll see how he's doing. If he's going to speech therapy, I'm going to do about a 10 to 15 minute update from therapy. If not, I'll do a short around noon. And then I expect to have regularly scheduled programming tonight. I might come on a little earlier because the college football playoff, I got to see what time it is. And I'm not missing the playoff games. It's just I like to watch them. Let's see what time these games are. Let's see. So we got Penn State against Notre Dame at 7:30.
You could do a live before that.
Yeah, I'm going to. I'm going to do the live before that. So I'll probably do it either 5:30, 6 o'clock. Girls will be here today.
Yeah.
Spend the
I
night.
didn't tell their dad about you.
No. But, okay. That's, give you your picks on the game. The Notre Dame game. I tend to lean towards Notre Dame. I know Penn State can't beat Ohio State. So just in case Ohio State beats Texas, we got to have somebody there that can beat, at least contend. So I personally, I wouldn't mind seeing Notre Dame win it all. With the teams that are left, Texas, Notre Dame, Penn State, Ohio State, I'd be okay with Notre Dame and Marcus Freeman winning it all. I like a bounce back story after they lost to a team they should have not lost to. So we'll see. We'll see. I would hate to see Ohio State win it all just because we beat them this year and it would be irrelevant, that win. Because I would rather have the national championship than beat Ohio State, personally. So I expect the same out of OSU fans. But with that being said, have a blessed morning.